Hey everyone, it's Alicia here at New VA Advice, where I offer business, marketing, and mindset coaching to help virtual assistants get out of overwhelm and create a business that they love. If you're joining us live, leave a comment, say hello, tell me where you're from. If you are watching the recording, feel free to leave a comment and do the same. Welcome, thank you for being here. Today's free training is all about creating your virtual assistant business on a small budget. Okay, it can be done. Many times, some of us are just in that position where we don't have a lot to invest in the business. Yes, it is great if you have it, and if you were in a position to save money and then use that to create the business that you want, but not everyone is in that position, let's face it, okay? I was not myself. I did not expect to be starting a business when I started mine. Therefore, I didn't have anything saved up to do so. So I needed to use methods that were low cost or no cost, but that were still high quality in order to get myself out there, get the business created, build the foundation, and then find clients. So that is what I did. There are other successful virtual assistants who have done the same. So that's what we're going to talk about today, creating that small business, creating your virtual assistant business on a small budget. Okay, so the first thing I want to say about this is when it comes to creating any kind of business or new venture like this, basically you're going to need to make an investment. But there's a but. You can invest your time or your money. Okay, so there's always an investment. It could be an investment though of time or money, or both, honestly, if you have it. If you don't have the money, you need to invest your time. Okay, so be prepared for that. That is exactly what I did, and that's what we're going to cover today. I'm going to give you, like I said, low cost, no cost tools, and know that this will take an investment of time. Building a business doesn't happen overnight, and the methods that I teach are all about relationship marketing, building a good solid foundation for your business, and then building relationships with potential clients that they turn into really awesome clients. Okay, so that's your first thing. There's always going to be an investment when creating a new business of either time or money or both. So let's go over, I try to break it down into categories that would make sense when it comes to creating the business on a budget. Okay, first things first. And people often ask me this who are still in the very beginning stages. What exactly do I need to start my online virtual assistant business? What stuff do I have to have? Well, I will be honest. The things that you have to have are a computer and internet access. I know that's a really short list, right? But that's the thing. Those are your necessities. Other things or tools or software, other things really depend on the services that you're going to provide. But basics are some kind of computer. I don't care if it's a desktop, a laptop, Mac, a PC, something you can use to do your business, and you need internet access to do so, okay? The other things that you may need will depend on the kind of services that you are providing. So please don't feel that you need, in order to start out, you have to have XYZ software and pay for this and that and have your, office space stocked with this and that. You don't have to have all of that. I'll be totally honest with you. So I had a computer and internet access when I started. At that time, I didn't have an actual office space. I used a fold-up table, like a folding table, and an old kitchen chair. That was really horrible, by the way. It was very uncomfortable, and I learned quickly that, that wasn't gonna fly. And I had one small filing cabinet. That's all I had. That's all I had when I started, okay? So those are your basics. Now, from there, let's talk about other things that you can need and use. Like I said, I'm keeping this simplistic because I'm all about, if you don't need the bells and whistles, we don't have to introduce them all right now, okay? Let's talk about the necessities and low cost, no cost. So when it comes to working with clients, okay, now we have our computer and internet access. What else do you need? What do you need to think about as far as stuff, to run this business? Well, you're going to need to think about the process you go through working with clients, right? Because your end goal is to get clients and then work with them. So what do you need to do that process? Well, you need a way to send and receive money, right? Okay. Plenty of free things out there for that, including PayPal. Honestly, you can start with a PayPal account and keep it very simple. You can work with anyone, anywhere in the world, and using PayPal, they will convert the denominations for you, so you don't need to worry about that. Many of my clients, even when I started out, were not from the US. I worked with people all over. I had a client in Europe, a client in London, and one in Ireland. Doesn't matter. PayPal can convert the money. I don't have to worry about that. For most processors, yes, there will be a fee to use them. You are not going to get away from that. Know that it's part of the cost of doing business. So that's the other question I often get asked. Well, what's the most cost effective to use for processing? There's lots of options out there, but I'm letting you know to keep it simple. That's what we're working with, right? Simple, low cost, no cost to start. PayPal works for that. You can totally use it. And then guess what? There's an invoicing feature. So you can look very professional. You can upload a logo if you want, or just a business name, and use their invoicing feature. There's no cost to do that, okay? So send and receive money with PayPal. Let them figure out conversions if you have clients in other places, and you can use their invoicing feature to send your invoice to your clients, okay? So that's payments. Well, what about files? Depending on what you're doing with these clients, there are going to be files going back and forth, right, between you and them. Sure, you can email them back and forth. You could also use a free in the cloud solution, something like Dropbox. I love Dropbox. I have everything in there, including family photos and client files and everything else. So if you're not familiar with it, you can basically make a folder in there just like you would on your computer, but it lives up in the clouds, okay? So you use that, and you can make private ones just between you and that client. So they don't need to see your other client information, okay? You make a folder for them, and that's where you can share things in there. You can send things to them, they can send things to you, you can have it all in the folder. Of course, there's other ways. Google Drive. Same concept, right? You can send all kinds of files in Google Drive, you know, whether it's docs or audio or anything else, okay? Both of them allow you to work in there within the client, so you can edit things together and make notes and see what the other person's doing in there, okay? But they don't have to see your other client's information. Both great free solutions for sending and receiving files, okay? Great. So what else do we need to think about? Phone, well, you have a lot of options when it comes to that. And again, it depends on your business and if you're going to be offering customer service and you need to be on the phone, or if you're just using your phone as a means to have check-ins with clients and have them schedule a free phone consult if they're interested in becoming a client. That part is a little easier. So you can use something like Google Voice, again, free. It's basically routing the number through wherever you want. So let's say, for example, in my business, I use my cell phone for pretty much everything. You can have a number with Google Voice that gets rerouted, so you know they're calling about work-related stuff, and then you answer it through your cell phone. So it gives you that quote-unquote private numbers. You're not giving out your cell phone number, but it's rerouted to your phone, okay? Easy solution for having a way to have phone calls. Another way that I really like that I did right off the bat with my business is using something like Skype. Right? That's free. You can have phone conversations or video conversations with Skype for free. Definitely helps with the know, like, and trust factor as well. So if you're talking with someone for the first time, think about it like this. If you were a brick and mortar business, when you first met with a client, you'd probably meet with them in person, right? So if you have someone who, let's say, maybe isn't as familiar with working with a virtual assistant, or they just want to see you, they want to know that you're a real person, you can hop on a Skype video call and have a conversation with them, and there you go, okay? Other sources like that, I love Uber Conference. That is really great for having a phone conversation with someone. Basically, you can hop on there, you can do phone, and you can share your screen. That is super helpful depending on what you're doing with the client. If you need to teach them something or show something, they can share their screen or you can share your screen. And then you can record the audio part. So you can't record the screen part. There's other stuff for that, but you can record audio. And that's free, okay? What else? Zoom. Big one. You're hearing about that a lot lately. Really great. You can do audio only for that as well as video. You can choose, again, and record it. There are free options for it. And most of these, just so that you know, so far the ones that I've mentioned, there are free versions, and then you can upgrade to premium or pro and pay. But again, I'm talking about low cost, no cost, small budget here, okay? So the things that I've mentioned, you can start out with for free. And I did, so I know that they work. Keeping you looking professional and doing the things you need to do, right? It's providing the service it needs to provide. You're just not paying an arm and a leg for it. You're keeping your costs down. It's totally okay to keep your costs down no matter what level your business is at, by the way. You could be making 6 figures in your business, but you still want to keep your overhead low, right? So these are good solutions. I forgot to mention though, I will give all of these resources. I'm going to make a post that has all of this information in one place. So it will have links that you can click on. Disclaimer, as many of them as I can will be at my affiliate links, because what a great way you make commission off of referring something that you know works fabulously. Okay, so next up, what do we have? Okay, so we're dealing with clients. That's the section we're talking about right now. We talked about a way to send and receive money, a way to send and receive files, how to have phone or video conversations with them. The other thing you want to think about is passwords, right? Sharing passwords. Maybe you have to get in the back end of their WordPress site or their membership site or pretty much anything that they'd have a password for. Use something like LastPass. There is a free version for it. It's called LastPass. And basically you can go in there and share passwords. Again, it's the same concept as Dropbox. You know, it's in the cloud, so you can access it from anywhere. And they can share passwords with you and vice versa, but other people aren't seeing that information. It's also a really secure way. You can also... So for example, I had a client who needed me to get into their WordPress site, but they didn't want me to actually see the password either. Besides giving me access, they didn't want me to see what it was. They can hide or mask it, send that to you through LastPass, and all I need to do is click through the links and it will take me to their site without me even actually seeing what the password is. So that's pretty secure, okay? So that's some of your basic, what I consider like the client work category. When you think of, okay, what do I need to do to run my business? You need a process that you're working with clients. Think of that process, and then what pieces do I need to make that process work, right? Okay, so that's what we just went over, the pieces that you need. Next up, I think about organization. That's the next piece, right? So you need to keep your own business building stuff organized, and then you need to keep client work organized, because the goal here is you're going to have a bunch of clients, right? So how do you prepare for that process? What low cost, no cost tools, software, whatnot can you use to keep it simple in order to make those things happen for you? Okay, lots of ways. Number one, Google Calendar. Easy, right? Okay. You make your own for whatever you want. You keep everything in there, your whole life. My whole life's in Google Calendar. But then you can also have separate calendars. So maybe you're managing calendars for your clients, or maybe you just want to keep a separate one of maybe you help with their social media and you need to keep their promotion calendar so that you know when you're posting different things and what events or programs they have going on. So you can do that in Google Calendar, free. Really easy to use. You can share it back and forth. And again, you can have certain things that are private or certain things that you share with a client. Okay. So that's in my, organization my organization category. What else do we have? The next thing would be, so let's say you want to have something to schedule calls with you. I often recommend that VAs have a spot on their website for contacting you. You want them to reach out to you and schedule a free call to get to know each other and then, see if you're a good fit. Okay, so your client consultation calls, that's what I call them. How are they going to schedule with you? It is way easier to use simple software and allow them to schedule than to put a page on your website that says, just fill out this form and get back to me, and then we'll look at your schedule and we'll email back and forth, and you send them 3 dates, but they can't make some of those, and then your time zone is different and you're trying to figure that out. No, let's keep it simpler and keep it low cost. You can use something like Calendly. I love Calendly. There are other options like this. And again, there are free versions. So basically you set up a calendar in there and tell them when you are available for a call. So then on the contact page, when you're saying, contact me for a free consult today, you can just say, click here, have a link that goes right to your calendar. It will show them in their time zone, and it will only show your available hours that you've put in there. You can also sync this up with Google Calendar, which is great. So if you make an appointment for something totally unrelated, and maybe it's during one of your available times to take those free calls, it'll put you in as unavailable. So it's not even an option that the potential client can see. Again, so easy. So you don't have to think about it. If you ended up making a doctor's appointment or your kid had a dentist appointment during one of those times you wrote down as available, if you mark that appointment in your Google Calendar, it'll sync up with Calendly and then it will have you unavailable for that time. Okay? Again, low cost, no cost, and you don't have to do all that thinking, okay? And you want it to be easier on the customer, this potential client, to work with you, right? So you're already showing them how easy, efficient, and convenient it is to work with you by giving them a great option like that, okay? Another thing we think of when it comes to organization is how to keep track of all of your to-do stuff for your business as well as all of your client stuff. Right? Where am I putting it all? How am I keeping track of it? Well, you have options here. You can use like a CRM, a customer relationship management tool, or when you first start out, when I started out, I kept it very simple. I had Word docs and an Excel spreadsheet. Not gonna lie, that's what I did. That's how I kept track of them. Each client had a folder on my computer, and then I'd have Word docs in there of all their contact information and whatnot, and I would use Excel spreadsheets to keep track of all the ways that I can contact them and their social media sites and their website and their email and their phone number and all that stuff. That's your super simple, like first level option there, okay? Again, we're not overcomplicating things. If that's what you need to start, use that. Otherwise, you have some low-cost tools available to you that are not super hard to figure out how to use. You have things like Trello, which is really nice. If you are a post-it note or list maker kind of person, you will like Trello. It will be for you. I promise you, if you haven't looked at it yet. You can even use it for your personal life to organize things and keep your to-dos. So basically, it's like having a virtual version of sticky notes, post-it notes, and your to-do lists, and you can move them around. So it's really cool. So you can make those for your client files as well. You can also use Evernote, same concept for making notes, or you can have a note for each client. Most of these things also allow you to set timers and alarms if you need to remind yourself to do something with that client or get back to them about something or post something for them. You can schedule those within these tools. Okay. And then you can bump it up to something like Asana, which is more of a bigger workplace area where you can have spaces where if you wanted the clients to be able to see and enter those spaces and download or upload files, they could, or you can just keep it for yourself. Or if you're building a team, that's really great because all the team members can go in there. It's one place to collaborate on everything you're doing. Okay. Again, all of these have free options to start. And I'm telling you, many of these things, some of them you're never going to really need to upgrade to more than free unless they change their programming, which I don't have any control over, obviously. But some you will always be able to stick with a free version. Others you can upgrade as your business grows. But then you want to think of it as a positive, right? If your business is growing, that means you're making more money, you are helping more people, you're doing what you love. Therefore, yes, I want to upgrade and get a better version of this so I can do my work more efficiently, right? Okay. Okay, so did I forget anything? I made notes, so I don't forget to tell you anything. So what else in the organization category? So the last thing then I put in the organization category is thinking about ways to track your income and expenses. So again, we're talking simple, low cost, no cost for startup. In PayPal, if you are only accepting money through PayPal, for example, then all of your income is tracked in there and you can easily print out a report for tax time. And you can print it out listing your income, categorizing it, as well as it will note your PayPal fees because those are, you're able to write those off on your taxes, okay? It all comes out on a report that way, okay? There are other things that you can use for this. Yes, there's tons of them out there, but also think about tracking your expenses, right? You need to track expenses for your taxes and you need to categorize those. Easy ways to do that. I don't think FreshBooks has a free option anymore except for maybe a free trial. But you could use that for invoicing as well. I used to use it for invoicing and tracking my expenses. But you could use something like Wave. You know, we're just looking at a way to keep it easy for you to track them. Again, if you want to do an Excel spreadsheet to track your expenses, go for it by all means. But if you're looking for a simple tool that's not expensive, or that's maybe even free, think about things like this, like Wave. You can use it to track and categorize your expenses. So again, when it comes to tax time, you print out a report and you're done. Okay? So that's my organization category, okay? Again, we're thinking about what do we need to run our business on a smaller budget that are the must-haves. Those are my suggestions for organization. So next category is a website. There's a lot to talk about on this topic, so I'm not going to go into great detail because talking about your VA website could be a whole separate thing. But in general, I do recommend at some point having a website. If you don't have one to start out with, I don't want that to stop you from getting yourself out there and getting known and getting clients, okay? But ultimately, it is great to have that as a representation of you and your home base online. It's the place you can send people to so they know that you're a real person, they get to know, like, and trust you, and they can see everything you do all in one space. If you are not there yet, that's okay. If you want to talk about that though, as far as expenses, it is not hugely expensive just to have it. You have your domain and your hosting. You can get some great deals on domain and hosting, I promise you, because I made a website in the very beginning by myself, which by the way, I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned and had no prior experience. But I was using these other tools that are free, so therefore there was a place I could spend a little bit of money. So I bought the domain and got the hosting, which didn't cost very much, so that I had that website, that home base. And then using something like WordPress, which I really suggest if you're going to have a website. WordPress is a free platform that you upload onto your site. So again, free. I like free. Okay. What do you do if you don't have a website? Other options before you get to a website, what can you use? You can create a landing page that tells people about you. You can use something like about.me. So basically it's kind of like having a one-page website and you can kind of showcase about yourself and what you do, okay? At least it's a place to point people to, right? You can have your business name on there, picture you, talk about what you do. Kind of a synopsis, a landing page it's called, okay? About.me. You could do a page like that. You could create a digital portfolio, and there's a way to do that whether you have you're running an admin business or if you offer something like design or tech. You can still make a portfolio online for not a lot of money. You can use something like Canva, again, free for creating graphics. Free, did you hear that? And there is a great course by group member Jay Jones that I will be talking about more this month and Jay teaches you how to make a portfolio for your virtual assistant business. That is exactly what the course is about. How to do it simply and easily and cost effectively using Canva. And like I said, you can do it for any type of services that you're providing. You don't have to, usually you think portfolio, you think, oh, well, that's for design BAs. No. Jay will teach you how to do it for any services that you provide, okay? Again, I'll have resources for that in a post that will accompany this video, okay? So, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about as far as website or your online presence. Then we jump into, okay, so if you don't have a website yet, you do know that having social media accounts on different platforms is free, right? Yes, it's free. Think about it this way. Look at the opportunities you have that weren't here several years ago to get the word out about who you are and what you do, and it doesn't cost you anything. I'm not talking right now about spending, thousands of dollars on Facebook ads to get yourself out there. I am talking about the fact that social media platforms are free to use. Create a great profile that showcases exactly what you do and who you do it for. That's my whole thing that I tell people. Make it very clear what you do, the benefits of what you do for a particular group of people. Marry those two things, and that's what you want to showcase about yourself, okay? So let's say, for example, you're on LinkedIn, you found that potential clients are hanging out on LinkedIn. Make your profile rock on LinkedIn. Okay? Make it so good that it's so clear what you do and who you are. They want to message you right away, right there on LinkedIn and work with you. Another great group member that has a course on, actually right now, as of when I'm recording this video, is running a really awesome challenge on how to create a great LinkedIn profile that clients want to look at from Sarah Santa Croce, which is another great group member here. Again, I'll put links in this post. But my point is, it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg to get yourself out there. So use social media platforms. Like I said, focus more on not being everywhere. You don't have to be, I promise. Focus on 1 or 2 places where you've done some research and you know that your potential clients are hanging out on those particular sites. That's where you want to be too. Okay, so make a really great profile. It shouldn't say, you're still working at XYZ place. No, it would say you're a virtual assistant or graphic designer. You don't have to use the term virtual assistant, by the way. Whatever works best for you to explain what you do is fine. Okay, that's what you want to focus on. Okay. So those are my thoughts on getting yourself out there. What else did I want to tell you about that? Let me check my notes here. Okay, so another way to connect with people that is low cost. So we talked about how to have people find you. You have your website, you have social media. I am also a big proponent of a list building. So that is getting someone on an email list. They are giving you permission by giving you their name and email, giving you permission to visit their inbox. Okay, it is a great marketing tool. You don't have to start out with this, by the way. I'm just trying to give you an extra tip, kind of like a bonus thing here. But I'm a big proponent of email marketing. So you want to build your list. So create a really great free offer that you put on your website, for example, and then people sign up with their name and email address in order to get that really great free offer that you put out there. You do this with list management software. So it's a thing that you buy online. You can use something like Aweber. I love Aweber. Theirs is, I think it's 30 days free as of this recording. And then it's only $19 a month for your first 500 subscribers. So the first 500 people that sign up to your list. Okay. That should hold you for a while, right? I mean, so think about the possibilities there. You get it free for 30 days, but then a cost of like less than $20 a month, you're able to visit the inboxes of potential clients, okay? If they sign up for that freebie, that means they are interested in hearing from you. They want to know what you have to say. They think that what you do is valuable, okay? So I have other information on list building, but I just wanted you to know that as another marketing tactic that you can use that doesn't cost you a lot of money to get started. And I am coming from a place of, remember that I didn't have experience with these things when I started out, okay? I wasn't an internet marketer. I never had my own business. I had to learn all of this just like you're learning. So I want you to know that it is possible. I did it. I am a normal average person just like you, okay? I mean, I know we're, all fabulous and everything, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just a regular person. I didn't have all this experience or knowledge before I started online, and I learned it. So you can too, okay? So we covered social media, checking my notes to see anything else. Okay. Other things as far as building your business and setting up, low cost, no cost. The other thing people ask about is, okay, well, what if I need to beef up my skills so that I can offer more services to charge more money, okay? You might be coming into this with some really great ones. You start out with those. You can always add on later. Or some people don't want to quite start yet. They want to get some, not experience, they want to learn more skills in order to then start their business. You might be in one of those two categories, both perfectly fine, okay? Then look at courses that you can take online to learn a particular skill. I have a post that lists places that I trust to learn skills. All kinds of services that you can offer as a VA. I can share the link to that post, but there are also places that are kind of free or low cost, like Udemy.com or Lynda.com. You can go in there and find courses on particular topics if you want to beef up your skill level, and either they're free or low cost. Okay, so don't let it stop you because you can't pay, $2,000 for a course. Find a way around it. Okay, use resources like that. Okay. So let me try to recap a little here what we went over. We're talking about creating your virtual assistant business on a small budget, things that you need to get started. Remember, you don't need all the bells and whistles in the beginning, okay? You need to make an investment of either your time or your money, or both if you have it. But if you don't have the money, invest of your time to learn how to use these different tools and set them up for your business, okay? Some of them have a bigger learning curve than others, but I'm telling you from experience from someone who didn't have any knowledge of these things, it can be learned, okay? To start out, you need computer and internet access. The other things are really going to depend on the services that you offer people, okay? I wouldn't look at buying all these different programs unless you know you need them for the services that you're going to provide. Then you have things that you need to work with clients. Your client process, you're going to need a way to send and receive money, send and receive files, and perhaps passwords, and a way to talk with them and get in touch with them, whether that's video or audio. Okay, we covered that. You're going to need a way to organize everything and all this great work and all these awesome clients that are coming in. So you're going to need a way to keep a calendar and keep track of the jobs that you're doing and schedule times to talk with you, and all of that is in the organization category. Then you want to think about your website or social media, how you're putting yourself out there for others to find you. You're going to need low cost, no cost ways to do that. As well as courses. You want to learn new things, beef up your skills so that you can offer more great services to clients. There are low cost, no cost options for that as well. Okay, so I am trying to keep an eye on, if you are with me live, hi, say hello again, thank you. Sometimes there's a delay in when I can see things popping up on the screen. If you have a comment, question, now is the time to ask them. Like I said, this was a very basic, no bells and whistles kind of overview of what you need to set up on a small budget. Here's the other thing I want to tell you. If you're listening to some of these things and you're saying, well, if you've been stopping yourself saying, well, I can't set up because I don't have this or that, or I can't put my name out there because I don't have this thing set up yet. Please think about why you're saying that to yourself. Is it maybe fear? That might be the thing stopping you, right? Not that you don't have a particular tool or you didn't buy that software yet, right? It might be fear. So take a minute and listen to yourself internally and see what's coming up for you. Is it fear of failure? Is it fear of success? Okay, there's always mindset work to be doing, especially when you're an entrepreneur, business owner at every level. Okay, so keep that in mind. Maybe that's the thing that's holding you back. It's not that you need all these bells and whistles and tools and things. Maybe it's you stopping you. Okay, if you know you do great work and there are people that can be helped by it, and this is also going to better your life by creating this business and life that you love, please don't stop yourself from just doing it. Just get started. That's my whole thing. I don't want you to be stuck in research mode because we can all do that. I've been there myself. You have to start doing. You have to start taking action. Okay? So if this resonated with you and you wish you had a little more support maybe from me or others in the same place and you need some guidance on these particular things, I would love for you to join me in the VA Startup Mastermind. This is the kind of stuff we go over. It's everyone who's building their foundation of their business to make it solid, to make it great, to make it what you want it from the very beginning, okay? I have tons of resources like the things we talked about today, but also things about choosing your business model and your business name and taxes and your client intake process. And I have templates for how to make a contract and how to make a client welcome email and all that stuff. So in the VA Startup Mastermind, you get those resources, like the stuff, the tools that you need, but then you also get the support to make it happen. So we do twice a month live calls. That's your chance to get on and say, okay, here's what I'm working on right now. So you get accountability, okay? We set up a plan for you personally, not, just everyone and this is what everyone should do. It's for you personally. Here's your plan of attack for making your business. You get on the calls and check in and say, okay, here's where I am, or this is the question I have, or can you give me feedback on how this page looks? Yes, that's what we do, okay? And you often will learn something by hearing questions that other people have, right? Somebody asks a question, you thought, oh, I didn't even think about that, but that's good, right? So there are a lot of benefits of working that way. We also have a private Facebook group just for Startup Mastermind members. So if you're in between calls, I don't want you to feel stuck or stalled. If there's something you want to know, come in and talk to me and your other group members in the Facebook group, and we'll get you moving and get things going in there, okay? So that's my invitation to you today. I'd love for you to join me in the VA Startup Mastermind. I will put links in this to tell you how to find it, but it is newvaadvice.com /startup-mastermind. 2 ways to pay, and as of the recording, right now it is November 2017, and I am offering a really awesome discount. It is a quarterly payment, and I'm discounting that for the month of November. When you sign up, your first quarterly payment is only $59.99 a month, and the regular payments are $69.99 a month. Or you can also just take advantage of a really great savings and just pay the 1 yearly fee, and you're good to go for a whole year. So you get all those resources, and you get me helping you and the Facebook group, okay? This is the kind of stuff that I honestly wish was there when I started out. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know who I could trust. I didn't know who to ask the questions to, and I didn't know which tools and software I needed. So, oh, and also I couldn't afford to pay anybody, right? So that's why I made this a lower price point. I want you to be able to come in and get what you need. If you break down those numbers, that is less than $1 a day. I did the math. I checked it out. Less than $1 a day. So you're actually getting the support, okay? You're getting the tools, and then you're getting the support. How's this helping you? You put those two together, and you're actually doing the work. You're going to make the business. You're going to get it done quicker. You're not struggling by yourself anymore. And you don't have to search. Oh, let me check YouTube. Let me check this site. Let me download that free thing. Let me hop on that free webinar and see what other information I can get. Trust me, I've done all of that. You don't have to go all those places anymore. One place, get all the stuff you need, create your business, and get the support around it. And I'm excited about it because that's what I want for you too, okay? I've done it. And this is what I help people do now, and I love it. I'm thinking just from this video, you can probably tell that, you know, this excites me. So let's get that energy going together and get your business moving, okay? So questions, comments on any of the information we talked about today about creating your business on a small budget, leave them in the comments. Again, I'll create a post that has links for all the things we talked about. You can also leave comments on there. Also, comments or questions about VA Startup Mastermind, let me know. Again, it's newvaadvice.com/startup-mastermind. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this was beneficial to you in thinking about how to create this business on a smaller budget and knowing that you can do it. You don't necessarily need everything under the sun to get this started today. Use what you have, learn the rest. Take your time, be proud of yourself. Every step you take, every piece you do, celebrate it. Even if it's a little celebration, you know, get your nails done or something. It doesn't have to be, you know, let's go away for the weekend on a plane. You know what I mean? Little celebrations are good too. Helps encourage you and give you that boost of motivation to keep going. Okay? All right. Awesome. So that's all from me today. I hope that you found this helpful, and I'm sure you will be hearing from me soon. And have a great day, everyone. Bye.